Alrighty, fellow FAFers, and welcome back to the show. This is the Duelist speaking, and welcome to the most sophisticated cast you will ever see regarding the most sophisticated game that only with those with the most refined and practiced tastes can appreciate. That is, of course, Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever. So do what I'm doing. Pour yourself a drink like my lovely dirty vodka martini right here. Shaken, of course, not stirred, just like my old friend Mr. Bond has them served. And join me as we appreciate this most masterful game. And that's about it as far as... That was like all I could do to keep from laughing. Let's go ahead and introduce our players. Game's going down on Adaptive Meadow, 10x10 map. For those of anybody who's like a first-time watcher of the channel, they're like, who the fuck is this guy? So, yeah, let's go ahead and introduce our players. Call this Team 1 up at the top, Team 2 down at the bottom. I have played this map a couple times. There's a good amount of reclaim here in the form of rocks. 27,000 reading on the screen right now. Let's start with the rearguard air position for team number 1. We have my good buddy, Sergeant Syphilis, and he's going Aeon. Working on his Hydra right now, even though he's going Aeon, we're not going to hold it against him. Another friend of mine too, his south is going to be Stosm. He's going Cybran, opening first land, second, third, and fourth land, fifth and sixth, or fourth and fifth on the cards as well. To his west, we have Legend Lore, who is going Cybran as well, opening first land. Continuing east, we have, who is this? We have Han Solo, who is missing his good buddy Chewbacca. I know Mr. Solo loves Chewbacca so very much. He's going Seraphim, opening first land, walking a good way for that Hydra rush. We'll see how that works out for him. Next, we've got Signal Runner instead of Chewbacca, who's going to be picking up his flank, going Cybran, opening first land. And last but not least, for team number 1, we have Sooty, who is going Seraphim, opening first land as well. His name reminds me of Sodi no Kibi, which is a ransomware variant. For those of y'all that don't know, my day job is in cybersecurity. So, yeah, that probably shouldn't remind me of ransomware. And sorry, Sodi, that your name reminds me of ransomware. But anyway, let's go ahead and keep going. We got Sheldorth, another friend of mine, who's going UEF, opening first land in this far western flank. He is joined by Niskaru. He's going Aeon, actually, and he is open first, second land, and third air, it would look like. I'm pretty sure Niskaru is actually Cthulhu, and I think he goes by Dead Six now. So, yeah, another guy I play with a good amount. There's a lot of people that I know in this game. Anywho, we have What's a Kraken, baby, who's playing Seraphim, opening first land, second air. And on the plateau, we have OGW PR Outreach, who is going UEF, first land, second air. He is flanked by, that's going to be Born, who might not remember who he is, but he knows exactly the armaments of the people around him. He also knows that at this particular elevation, he can run a quarter mile flat out before his hands even start shaking. And last but not least, in the rearguard air position, we have BJ, who is going UEF, first land, second air in that air position. Already on his way to his first Tech 2 Mass Extractor, right at about 3 minutes. So quite efficient play coming out of a rearguard air position, or inefficient play. I'll let you guys make the decision there. Sooty. He's got himself a gun speed and range upgrade on the way for that Seraphim commander. Looks like it's been pinged out though, as I think Born has scouted this out. Going to be harassing him a little bit with some of those Auroras and their longer range. Auroras do outrange commanders. It's supremely annoying. And I know Willow has like a huge fetish for slamming 20 Auroras down a commander's throat, along with his commander, even though he doesn't have gun on it. So shout out to Willow's duality. But another gun upgrade now on the way for Niskaru, and he's got that Aeon gun speed upgrade going. I'm sure gun range is going to be queued up next. Middle reclaim seems to be going the way of What's a Kraken, who has walked his commander right to the middle and has done some manual reclaim orders with that comm. There's a good amount of rocks here in the middle, so that'll give What's a Kraken a Kraken chance here in the middle of the game. He's also walling off the approach, so wants to make sure that he can't help his allies at all, which, you know, I respect it. You know, your allies do something stupid and you're like, hey man, what do you want me to do? There's a fucking wall here. Like, I don't know what you want from me, or what you want me to do. But aggressive drop now coming out from Sergeant Syphilis for this plateau. He is going to get those engineers down, or apologies, 1 engineer and 2 labs. And it looks like going straight for the reclaim, actually, not going for a couple manual reclaim orders. And then he's got some mechs upgraded. Plateau to the west has gone the way of Legend Lore. So team number 1 currently in control of both of the plateaus. Of course, Legend Lore has a much firmer grasp than Sergeant Syphilis does on the eastern plateau. Gun range now on the way for Niskaru. Down at the bottom, we're starting to see some of, I believe, our first comm-on-comm action here happening between Stasm and Sheldorth. Stasm playing aggressively out of his base. Needs to keep an eye on that. And on this side, Sodi has actually dropped down pretty low. Did not complete that gun upgrade. Took too much harass from these Auroras and is actually taking a lot of damage from Tech 1 bombers. And this is not an allied commander. This is Outreach's commander. We do have some AA here that should help alleviate the strain from the air. But as long as Outreach just keeps walking, I think Sodi is dead. Much like that particular variant of ransomware. As I think Sodi is going to be our first ejection here. Goes for the factory to block some of the shots, but that's gonna put Team 1 down at a little bit of a disadvantage. I believe full share is turned off here, as we can watch Sodi's base go up in flames. And that's going to mean that Signal Runner he's going to move his comm over to the western side of the map, try and plug that gap. Going to use some flex tape for that gap. And Stasm going for a Tech 2 land upgrade down here on the southern side. And in the, well, towards the east of Stasm, Legend Lore getting caught by gun upgrade now from Niskaru. Legend Lore not running away yet. Dropping down to 4k HP. Does have the water here to retreat to, and that seems to be his primary plan. I don't think that Niskaru is going to have... He doesn't have any units here to do a Shift G, so Legend Lore is going to count his lucky stars that he was able to scout out that gun upgrade and had an avenue of escape. Of course, Niskaru could be an Omega annoying asshole and build torpedo launchers in that bay, but we'll see if that's what he ends up doing. For now, Legend Lore safe in the pond. Gun speed and range now on the way for What's a Kraken. His opponent, which would be Han Solo, has got Tech 2 on his commander. Doesn't seem to have really used it yet. Don't really see any fire basing out of him as of yet. And Signal Runner trying to wall off this section. Building the, I was going to say the Great Wall of Signal Runner, but really that looks to be a pretty small wall of Signal Runner. So it's kind of like, you know, if you compare this to the Great Wall of China, you've got this is you, and then the Great Wall of China is the guy that your significant other tells you not to worry about. As on the eastern side, Stasm has been pushed off. Sheldorth with just the vanilla comm, and Stasm did not complete that Tech 2 gun upgrade, so was forced to cancel and has lost some of his point defense emplacements. We do have Tech 1 gunships now out from Legend Lore. That's going to be harassing Niskaru on the front line. Actually getting some pretty good damage in, pushing Niskaru down into the yellow. I don't know if he's going to react to this or not. He has he has one mobile AA and a couple of interceptors, so, but gonna lose a lot of HP. He's down to 4k HP. There are more jesters coming in as well. 3k HP? Is this a Niskaru? Hello? Are you okay, buddy? But last of the gunships are actually going to go down. Jester's not holding up super well to mobile AA. And Legend Lore looked like he thought about bringing his comm out to try and finish the job, but he's going to peek his head out over the water and think, oh, hell no, that looks like a terrible idea. And he's going to just dip his head back under the water. While up at the top, Han Solo brought his commander over to support Signal Runner. up against Born. Born going for a Tech 2 upgrade of his own. So no gun or anything, and because he is the Aeon, that is going to preclude, which is a word that I just for whatever reason had a really hard time saying just now. But going for Tech 2 upgrade on his commander, so that's going to mean that he is not going to be able to upgrade the gun in the future. Han Solo with gun and Tech 2, so recently minted gun upgrade for him. He's going to be pushing up towards the middle, and that's going to be up against Outreach, his kind of forward manufacturing facilities. On the other side, we've got Legend Lore, actually the one building the torpedo launchers. He's going to abandon that, though, as Niskaru came to say hello to his good buddy in the pond here. And with Han Solo moving his commander towards the east. This is east. And this side is west. That has left a little bit of a vacuum here, which it looks like What's a Kraken is going to be taken advantage of. Engineers working on getting some point defense up on these cliffs, and yeah, we got more point defense being lined up at the outside of Han Solo's base. So not looking to fortify his position as much as possible. He does not want to give the Empire the Millennium Falcon, which is now what Han Solo's base is called. I don't know, if you use your imagination a lot and lie to yourself a little bit, you can say that his base looks kind of like the Millennium Falcon. Actually, you know what? I'm kind of seeing it. If you turn it upside down. So you've got like the main hole right here, and then you've got this little thing, which is the cockpit. I'm seeing it now. Because I lied to myself. But either way, his commander getting some good work done here on the front lines. Taking out some of the frontline production units there for Outreach, who I'm not sure what Outreach is working on right now. So he's got Tech 2 Air and has been prioritizing air quite a bit. So not really interested in the land game currently. Only one Tech 1 land factory that is not producing anything and is actually just looking to wall up as much as possible to keep Solo from advancing any further. He's got some point defense out here as well to that effect. Stealth upgrade now on the way for Stasm, who does not have a gun upgrade. It's just gone for a vanilla stealth upgrade, which is unusual, to say the least. He does have Tech 2 land, though, out. So we got some hoplites and some rhinos that are currently getting battered into. And that stealth upgrade, that's going to be a risky one to commit to. You can see ETA there fluctuating a little bit. 25 seconds-ish left on that upgrade, but he ends up canceling it as Sheldorth demonstrating the power of a gun comm with overcharge, able to deal with small amounts of Tech 2 units with relative ease here. There are some point defense though on the cliff. They're gonna make Sheldorth's life a little bit more difficult, and some Tech 1 bombers out from Syphilis as well. Or Sarge, I should say. And Legend Lore has also freed himself from the pond, still in very, very shaky condition at only about a 1k HP. But between the Tech 2 units as well as getting himself, as well as some of the air cover there from Sarge, able to extricate himself from what was a dangerous position. And his comm should be okay right now, barring some mass Tech 1 air snipe. But the air snipe actually coming in on Han Solo, who is going to dip below the water with under 100 HP. Stingers really just shy of knocking Han Solo out of this game, and that would have been pretty crushing for team number one, as we see What's a Kraken advancing with his gun upgrade. He's also got Restoration Field, which is upgrade we don't see all that often, but is pretty powerful. Creates an AoE restoration field around all of your units. Means that your units are going to be able to not only trade a little bit better during a fight, but as you're moving from one location to another, they'll be able to heal up a little bit as well. So, but Han Solo not moving from this lake at all, as his base under pressure now from What's a Kraken, having to fight a war on two fronts here. And yeah, team one really enjoying these pawns. It's been saved their lives twice now, as Legend Lore was able to use this pawn to save himself, and Han Solo uses this pawn to save himself as he drops down to 60 HP or something like that from those stingers. Can't believe he made it out of that one. But What's a Kraken here? Melting through the point defense there for Han Solo. He's got a lot of Zooies in this mix. Should be able to deal with buildings very, very quickly. Has gone a lot of T1 spam out of this guy. He's got 6 T1 land factories, and 5 of them, I believe, currently producing only like Tech 1 spam. We does have Tech 2, so we got some Ilshivas coming out on the line. A couple of them grouped back up here to rally point, and he goes for a nano repair on a very aggressive upgrade position, as hoplites now from Legend Lore start absolutely laying into him. And he's gonna have to cancel that upgrade. Hoplites great at range, not so great up close. Only 550 hit points on those bad boys. Let's put that into comparison. We have 300-ish on the Tham. So Hoplite's not that much more tanky than Tech 1 land unit. And these Hoplites actually going to lose this fight here, as they end up getting far too close in against this Tech 1, these direct fire units, as well as the Zooies. We'll be able to take some with them, but Hoplites are going to be forced to retreat here. As down in the south, Stasum still duking it out here with Sheldorf, and up in the north, Signal Runner been overrun in his fire base that he had built around Sodi's old base. Does have Tech 2 land out though, so a couple rhinos are going to be able to really help mop up these Auroras, as there's only Tech 1 here in this mix, but it's not going to feel great that he's lost this fire base. He'd invested a couple of Tech 2 mexes up there too. So Signal Runner got his work cut out for him here. Tech 2 land should really help him though secure this, as Aurora's already paper thin and don't really trade that well with Tech 1 main battle units, much less Tech 2 main battle units. So might only need like 7 or 8 more rhinos before he can just roll over this position once again. But needs to get those out pretty quickly. It's down in the south. Legend Lore setting up some point defense. He's still producing Jesters, which is interesting. Might be looking for some kind of snipe, although those Jesters are going to get absolutely evaporated by the ASF. And Legend Lore also moving some of his Tech 2 land, Tech 1 and Tech 2 land into range of some Oblivion turrets, which is also a bummer. But by and large, despite losing a player, despite some rough early trades here, and some very near snipe attempts, Team 1 has definitely stabilized here, and now need to start thinking about how they're going to advance forward in this game. And I think that Tech is going to be their answer here, as Team 2 kind of across the board bet heavily on Tech 1 spam. And they've gotten some good work done with it, as advanced regen aura now coming out for What's a Kraken, but they've got some good work done with their Tech 1 land, but you can start to see the Tech 1 land really starting to fade the power there, as it starts going up against the more advanced Tech 2 and even Tech 3, as we've got Loyalists now out from Signal Runner, who has just been absolutely teching like a maniac. Needs to start looking at getting this reclaim though. We talked a lot about how important reclaim is. There's 8k reclaim here. That is 2 Tech 3 mexes that he could use to further his dastardly ambitions in this game. As down in the south, we got Stasum taking a little bit of a beating here. Sheldorf seems to be struggling a little bit with moving forward though on Stasum. I think some of it has to do with some of the point defense that Stasum has around. And Sheldor thinking, you know, like the rest of his team, a lot on these Tech 1 units. Does have Tech 2 out and is getting some Tech 2 engineers. But it needs to start thinking about getting some mobile missile launchers up there, some pillars, some mobile shields. All that lovely UEF good stuff. And that is caster's privilege, by the way, which is being able to backseat game. Which is awesome. As push now coming from, well, I'm not sure if What's a Kraken just picked the fight or if Han Solo is trying to get What's a Kraken off of his lawn here. But he does have some point defense that are set up further back. That's going to be helping out against the Ilshivas. But What's a Kraken with the regen field as well as gun comm, and he has nano on his comm as well. Han Solo's commander starting to look very inferior, even though he has both gun and Tech 2, which is a good upgrade suite. He's going to be forced to fall back as more point defense getting spammed up here and getting into range. Han Solo needs to work on dodging these Zooey shots as a whole barrage lands on his head. Dropping down to 5,000 HP. But it looks like the encirclement maneuver here from Legend Lore is going to make What's a Kraken think twice. Meanwhile, as Legend Lore is trying to help out his buddy, Niskaru taking the opportunity to make a move down in the south. And Legend Lore again leveraging these hoplites as toe-to-toe main battle units and coming out with a bloody nose there. I don't know a whole lot about fighting, but it seems to me like putting a lightweight up against the heavyweight. As Han Solo once again under pressure, dropping now below 5,000 HP. Does have lots of point defense here. More are coming up as well. And What's a Kraken, I just don't think has enough gas in the tank here to be able to pressure this base, as he's going to lose a lot of units here, pretty much all of his army in that push. So point defense in that instance paying off here for Han Solo. He's got a lot of reclaim now on his doorstep as long as he can secure it. On the screen right now, we got another 8K reclaim. And Signal Runner, using the Tech 2's advantage here, has pretty much evicted Bourne out of the northern section of the map. He's reclaimed Sodi's old base. Now with these loyalists, just needs to keep him moving, make sure that he can keep putting pressure before more of these point defense come up here. It's all about initiative. It's Blitzkrieg. It's lightning warfare, man. Alright, he's running away. Don't run away. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, man. But that is Tech 3 Air actually now out from Outreach. So Outreach entering the game as a second air player to BJ down here, who hasn't been super active in this game, just been mostly focusing on ASF. I haven't really seen any strats. He does have a nice little spy plane back in the back of Sarge's base. So I hate it whenever my opponents do this, because I always forget that these are there, and then I just let them sit there for a really, really long time. And it annoys the crap out of me. And I always look at it while I'm trying to do something else. It's like those things that you know you should do. Like, you know you should mow the lawn, but like every time you think about mowing the lawn, it's while you need to do something else. Like you're on the way to the grocery store or something. And then whenever you get home, you need to put your groceries away. So you put your groceries away, and then you forget that you need to mow the lawn until the next day whenever you have to go out for something else. And it's like, God damn, I forgot I need to mow the lawn. That's what it's like for me. Just a, you know, insight into my mind. That doesn't work. My mind doesn't very well, but air raid now coming in. Janus bombing run along with broadswords now out from Outreach. That's gonna cost, I thought it was gonna cost Signal Runner that max, but ASF scrambled from Sarge, gonna be able to mop up those broadswords as well as the Janus. Mopped up by the bouncer that has come out of Signal Runner's base. Han Solo once again venturing forward and once again on the run. This time What's a Kraken is brought several, these are Ascendants, right? Nope, Athenas, that's right. mobile shield generators for the Seraphim, so has made the jump to Tech 3. We see some Othams on the field as well. Probably could benefit from some sniper bots, though, in this position. Gunships now being positioned by Sarge. Might be going for a snipe attempt here. There's a good amount of mobile AAA. I don't think any of it is flak, though. It's all just regular T1 mobile. And pulling the gunships back, but sending in the Tech 1 bombers. They're all going to be off the mark, and What's a Kraken is going to move on and live to fight another day there. I don't think he would have gone down because Outreach and BJ are on station with their ASF. But What's a Kraken might be thinking about making his way back. He's setting up a lot of TMD here. Quite sure what that's all about, as I don't see any TML on the screen. So obviously worried about something. Maybe it's mobile missile launchers. Wants the firebase there a little bit, not sure. As Outreach, now that he has Tech 3 Air, putting a concerted effort here on Tech 1 land. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12 Tech 1 land factories. And with that many land factories, I would assume that he's going to be investing heavily in just Tech 1 land. Not sure if you would tech on that many factories, as he's got all of his land factories currently, I think, at Tech 1. I don't see any higher tech land, but he is going for Tech 3 mexes. Outreach, if you guys don't remember... No, that's not the guy. There was a cast I did a long time ago where a player built nothing but labs and won the game. I mean, he had like something like 40 Tech 1 factories just cranking out labs. And yeah, they won the game. And I thought it was Outreach. I think Outreach was in that game, but I don't think he was the one that did it. So, if you guys want to go watch that game, it's on my channel. I probably won't remember to link it in the description below. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But it was a good cast. I thought it was funny. I had fun. I always have fun. You guys always have fun. Everybody has fun. As Han Solo has continued his point defense creep forward, and that seems to be the way he wants to secure reclaim, is just building more Tech 2 point defense. And Tech 2 PD have served him well so far in the past, as Sarge has brought in gunships once again. Still no flak in this mix, but a lot of Tech 1 AA. We do have BJ's ASF now coming in, and they're going to be able to mop up those Spectres pretty quickly. Only one making it out. Nope, none of them making it out alive. Sarge gets a couple good turns there, but it doesn't look like he wants to take a full fat air engagement against 2 air players, which I understand. Legend Lord, though, backing him up over Sam's, and BJ's air is actually going to get mopped up here as he does take the full engagement and ends up fighting over Sam's. As Stasm completes an experimental unit, it looks like a Monkey Lord. He's on his way to another Monkey Lord while his factory is paused. And Signal Runner just now completing a Monkey Lord as well. So first 2 experimentals of the game coming out from team number 1, who have definitely taken the fewer units and higher quality approach, while team number 2 have definitely adopted the approach of let's just throw as many units at them as we can and overwhelm them. But Bricks here from Signal Runner are going to be able to hold the line. Legend Lore's commander out a little bit far forward. I cannot believe What's a Kraken is still here with this commander. Although he does have nano repair. He's got 21,000 HP, so he's a tanky boy, but kind of not really getting a whole lot done with this commander anymore. And we actually have trebuchets now coming out from Legend Lore that are shelling his units and forcing him to at least think a little bit about his overall strategy. And the Monkey Lord from Signal Runner actually making its way to What's a Kraken. Stasm's Monkey Lord, I think, gonna bite off a little bit more than it can chew here as it runs into a whole group of snipers and harbs. Although maybe not. Monkey Lord performing pretty well. He does have bricks here to support it. I'm keeping an eye up here as well on the Monkey Lord from Signal Runner. And Stasm's Monkey Lord in a little bit too deep, I think. gets in range of the point defense. Signal runners, Monkey Lord now moving in. I'm gonna go to split screen. He's locked on now to what's a Kraken. Stasm's commander is gonna go down, or not commander, but Monkey Lord. And Signal Runner gonna be able to take out what's a Kraken from this game. And that has been a huge thorn in Han Solo's side and really gonna give him a lot of breathing room here. Niskaru's commander even close by as we go back to single screen here. Strats now deployed out from BJ on the Monkey Lord. Looks like they all missed. That's unfortunate. That's going to allow Sarge to be able to come in here with his ASF, take those strats out of the sky. Kind of unfortunate that Stasm's monkey died where it did. That's going to give Niskaru a good amount of reclaim here to start working with, as we have a strat run on Niskaru actually, who does have a shield upgrade, so very tanky commander. Niskaru also at Tech 3 Air. So lots of Tech 3 Air coming out of team number 2. And that is going to be the last strat there for Sarge going down. So good attempt here, but shield makes Niskaru's commander a little bit too tanky. And Sarge takes a terrible engagement here against Outreach. Ends up losing a good amount of his Air Force. Needs to go back into just full ASF production there, I think. As the Monkey Lord from Signal Runner that has bagged itself 50 kills, including a commander kill, is now stomping its way through Outreach's forward manufacturing, which is just all producing Lobos. Strats now out once again, as well as gunships, and a whole slew of Tech 1 bombers out from Outreach, who are now on their way to the Monkey Lord. Sarge's ASF, what he has left of him, now on the way to intercept. That Monkey Lord taking huge amounts of damage though from these Tech 1 bombers. And Outreach, this ASF as well, now going to catch Sarge's Air Force. And Sarge actually not taking a terrible engagement there, but BJ's ASF now coming in. Going to be able to get in behind Sarge's ASF, and that's going to be it for Sarge's air control. As I'm not quite sure how Bourne got himself back up here, but now he has Tech 3 units that are bearing down on Signal Runner's base. And Signal Runner, things are really starting to fall apart for him here, as he now has Harbs in his base. Has bricks now coming out. His commander does have Tech 2, so it's a little bit more tanky. And he does have E-Storage, so we do have overcharge potential. But that is if his commander isn't just running away. And he's going to lose one of his Tech 3, both of his Tech 3 power generators. Monkey trying to come back to stem the bleeding here. Still has all of his core mass, but he's lost his energy. So that's not good. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, I'm going to zoom out. We do have a GC now out from Legend Lore. These Harbs going to get mopped up here, as the Monkey Lord and the commander are able to deal with that, as the GC trying to assault Niskaru's forward position. Lots going on in this game. Gonna run into broadswords now from BJ. And this is interesting. Like, all the air players seem to be very, very concerned with air to ground and very not concerned about ASF. It seems like everybody is making very few ASF and just trying to do what they can with what they have, and making a lot of gunships and bombers, and yeah, it's interesting. I like it. That GC is going to put his back against the wall here and try and hold the line. Lots of Percivals now out from Sheldorf. Holy crap, that's a lot of Percivals. It's definitely going to be enough to deal with that GC. But I don't think it's worth it to turn the GC around at this point, as Monkey Lord engaging with Lobos up at the top. So just the higher quality units versus more lower quality units. Team 1 really struggling to turn this strategy into a victory here, as it seems like every time every time they get an experimental off the ground, it just gets a little bit too overwhelmed by the units out from team number 2. And you can see that as well with the Monkey Lord that now has 237 kills to its name. But only 24,000 mass killed. I say only 24,000, that's a hell of a lot of mass, but a lot of those kills are coming from Tech 1 units instead of Tech 3 units, Tech 2. As Bourne now finishes his own experimental, Solo makes his own experimental as well, so that is going to be an Ethoda out from Solo. And I would imagine that's a GC out from Bourne. Yep, there it is. No air experimentals as of yet. So the hold on the air is a little tentative at the moment. These Lobos, though, they're just like a continuous stream that are gradually going to wear down the bricks and the Othams. As on the other side of the map, that push continuing, Sheldorf and Niskaru seemingly very concerned about the GC wreck, and Niskaru's own GC going to be able to secure that even in the face of the bricks and the point defense. We do have another Monkey Lord out from Stasum, but Monkey Lord against the GC, it's a matchup we've seen a lot of times and does not work out well for the Monkey Lord. Their weapons look similar, but the Monkey Lord has less than half HP. The reason why the GC is called the Colossus. As the Ethoda pushing out now from Han Solo, Monkey Lord dropping very low against Bourne's Monkey Lord. We do have Sheldorf following this up with engineers to help secure that reclaim. So what you need to be doing is you win a fight, you need to have it follow. You need to follow that with engineers. Unless you're Aeon, then you can use the Harbs. Always, always, always have engineers following your army, so that you can get reclaim. Reclaim wins games, ladies and gentlemen. I'm curious, total reclaim. You can see actually Team 2 in a better position, and they've reclaimed 55,000 more mass. And they control, it's not because they have, you know, they're in a better position. They might have more mass, like they might have better mexes. Like let's look at the total mass income. So, okay, so they do have a lot more. They do have a lot more mass income, which is contributing to this mass disparity. We haven't really talked about eco here, but that is contributing to this mass disparity. But 50,000 additional mass reclaim, or 60,000 additional mass reclaim as it's skyrocketing here. The reclaim is contributing to them being able to afford more Tech 3 mexes. So following your army with a group of engineers like this and grabbing that reclaim, super, super important. As on the southern side of the map, we do have that GC out from Bourne. Looks like it took out Signal Runner's Monkey Lord. We do have an Ethoda here from Han Solo that's going to be able to stall up these Lobos. Might want to move it a little bit farther forward though before we lose some of these Seraphim static AA. But that GC making its way towards the center here. There is another Ethoda here from Han Solo, and Ethoda versus GC is actually pretty close, but I think the Ethoda wins normally, as long as its big, slow-moving projectile can actually get engaged and get into play here. And when supported by Tech 2 PD, this should be a no-brainer, easy win here for Han Solo, and a good amount of reclaim deposited on his doorstep that should take advantage of. Even Spectre's now out from Sarge to help keep that Ethoda healthy. I'm not quite sure why he's backing it up here, putting it in a bad position. Needs to keep all its weapons firing. The Ethoda only is 100% effective when firing full on, so that Ethoda is going to survive with 14,000 HP here. It's the other Ethoda getting hit by a massive amount of Tech 1 bombers. And even some strats now out from BJ that are actually going after Sarge here. who has built an experimental unit of his own. One more strat, I think, going after the SMD, which Team 2 does not have a nuke, so it might just be playing mind games here. That last strat gonna connect, but only gonna be able to take out the Hydro. Nothing super crazy, as Sarge actually working on his own nuke here. And that might be what they need to tip the tide. Tip the tide. Yeah, tip the tide. Team 1 has turned into the moon. They are going to tip the tide, make the oceans rise and fall with nuclear weapons, which is actually not that far out of the realm of possibility. We go to nuclear war here. I think what's funny is, though, if we go to nuclear war, wouldn't we have nuclear winter and wouldn't the sea levels drop because we would have, like, the glaciers start expanding again? I'm not a climate scientist, in case that was obvious from the stupidity of what I'm sure my question was. But other Athota here, there's actually a GC that was tried to be pushed in by Born. That did take out the formerly damaged Athota there from Han Solo, but newly minted one going to be able to chase that GC away. Spectres out from Sarge. Taking it down, and Sarge actually taking a pretty good air engagement here. Going to mop up BJ's Air Force and then turn to OGW's Air Force, or not OGW, Outreach's Air Force, who does not seem to be paying a whole lot of attention to his ASF at the current moment in time, and that's going to allow for that GC to go down. So let's talk about reclaim again. Let's look at this area. We now have 61,000 reclaim in this area, which would almost level the scales if Han Solo just focused on reclaim. There you go. You got an army of Tech 1 engineers that are actually going to build an SMD. I thought it was going for reclaim. Solo, he disappoints me. Gunship's now out to deal with another GC out from Bourne. How many GCs is that? As we now have a huge coalition of experimentals pushing down to the south. GC from Stasm. 2 Monkey Lords going to get burned, though, against Point Defense and another GC. That was just... Monkey Lord is just a little bit too far... Monkey Lord's a little bit too far forward there. This GC, I think, going to get mopped up by the Ravagers, as well as the Percivals. Just a little bit too much for Team 1 building a lot of experimentals and throwing them into situations where they can't necessarily win. Awesome, going to lose that GC, and Legend Lore going to lose his GC, and now the Megalith needs to run his 2 GCs now out from Niskaru. Going to chase him down. And this, like, I'm looking at this army. The Harbs, the Percivals, the GCs. Like, there's not a whole lot north of this to be able to stop it. Like, once this Megalith goes down and these bricks go down, Team 2 are in a very commanding position here on the far eastern flank. How's this nuke coming? It is not loaded. That is not good for team number 1. As the Megalith is going to go down. Air engagement over the top. Sarge is going to clean up some of their Air Force, but needs some air-to-ground firepower here. One of the GCs did go down. Again, you see OGW, PR Outreach following with engineers. Grabbing that reclaim. Secure a position, vacuum up all the mass. It's just like your mom told you, you know? Leave the place better than you found it. So, Team 2, they have a big battle down here. They leave all this shit all over the ground. And they're just doing what their moms taught them whenever they were growing up, you know? Clean your room. Leave the campsite better than you found it. That is going to be the thumbnail of this video. As GC now going to level Stasm's base. And this push, I don't know if team number 1 are going to be able to have a response to this, as Sarge is now, I think, going to lose. Oh, it actually takes a really good turn there. keep this a little bit more zoomed out, but he is going to end up losing air. Is going to end up losing air there, as the GC is now locked on to Stasm's commander. Stasm is going to go down. Sarge is soon to follow, I think. Legend Lore starts laser, which is very optimistic down here on the low ground. And Sarge, I think, actually just going to control K. His commander knows that there's nothing left that he can do in this particular game. Legend Lore swinging for the fences here, but he is about to lose his entire eco to this GC as it goes stomping through his base. That's going to leave us with Signal Runner, who is going to lose another Monkey Lord on this side. We got two Ethodas facing off against two GCs. First GC taking a huge battering. Legend Lore going to bow out. That leaves Han Solo, who is now getting strap bombed by BJ. Going to lose a lot of engineers there. This battle down here on this side, we got GCs actually losing out against the Ethodas in the short term, but once the Harbs show up here for Born, it should be able to tip the scales. As we have another Ethoda. Han Solo printing these Ethodas, smuggling these in from the outer rim, using those compartments that they hid in the Death Star to the best potential possible. But no matter how much smuggler's wit he has, I don't think he's going to be able to save himself from the GC that is marching down his throat. All of his fortifications were focused towards what's a Kraken's main base. Focusing now on Signal Runner's commander, going in for the final stand here, sacrificing his life for the cause, getting taken down by Miskaru, as Han Solo is now truly solo in this game, with a GC and a bunch of Harbs bearing down on his head, as well as gunships. They are throwing everything and the kitchen sink. T1 bombers too, over the top, just for the fuck of it. It was a really good game. So what did we learn from this game, guys? We have to clean up after ourselves. Do what your mom told you to do whenever you were little. Clean up after yourself. Clean your room. If you eat food and there's a dirty dish, put it in the dishwasher or wash it off. That's what all of us were taught growing up, hopefully. At least that's what I was taught while I was growing up. Do I listen to it now? Absolutely not. I actually did dishes earlier this evening, and there was like a week's worth of dishes that had just kind of piled up that I forgot about. So, yeah, it's the same thing as the lawn. I look at the dishes, and I'm like, hey, I should probably do those. And then that's while I'm on my way to somewhere else. So anyway, I'm not going to stop talking about chores. Thank you guys so much for watching the most sophisticated FAF cast of all time, while we talked about cleaning your room and Star Wars. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.